Welcome back to my kitchen, guys. It's another quick, simple and easy baking video today. I'll be making sweet potato pudding. It's one of my favorites. These are my ingredients that I'll be using to make my sweet potato pudding. I have my yellow yam, my sweet potato, dry coconut, sugar, cornmeal, flour, wine, raisins, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, baking powder, vanilla browning, and a can of coconut milk. I prefer to use my dry coconut because I would use the trash after blending the dry coconut to put inside my sweet potato pudding. If you're not able to get dry coconut, then you could use the coconut in the can. As you can see, I have one there. It's in Grace. You could use whatever coconut in the can that you can find. You would need 2 of that can of coconut milk. I'm going to be using 4 ounces of butter as well inside my sweet potato pudding. So guys, let's get to it. Here I have my grated sweet potatoes and my yellow yam. I use 1 pound of sweet potatoes and ½ pound of yellow yam. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients. First thing I'm going to add is my sugar. I'll be using 2 cups of sugar. Next, I'm going to be adding my baking powder, adding my salt, 1 teaspoon of salt, adding my cinnamon and nutmeg, 1 teaspoon each. I'm adding my raisins, 3-ounce raisins. And I'll be adding my cornmeal, ½ cup of cornmeal. Now I will be adding my coconut milk. I'll be using 3½ cup of coconut milk and ½ cup of wine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 2 cups of coconut milk. Then you want to give it a stir. You want to stir it in, fold it in, take your time so it won't spill. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to add my butter. I'll be using 4 ounces of butter or a stick of butter. Now you want to go ahead and stir that in. As I said before, guys, potato pudding is my favorite. Growing up as a little girl, my mom always made sweet potato pudding, and we couldn't wait to taste the sweet potato pudding. As we would say in Jamaica, when pudding tastes good, we lick our 10 fingers. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my browning. I'm using 1 tablespoon of browning. You want to stir that in. Stir it right in. Now you want to go ahead and you want to add your wine. I'm using 1/2 cup of sweet red wine. And guys, when you use the wine, you could also use white rum. The wine and the rum basically let the pudding last longer, and give it this nice flavor and the aroma from the pudding, the aroma from the red wine. I'm smelling it right now as I stir this wine into the sweet potato pudding. It smells so good, guys, so good. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of my flour. I'm just going to add it as I go along. So I'm using 3.5 cups of flour, and I'm just going to put in 2 cups for now and give it a stir. Okay. So you just want to add it gently inside your mixture so you don't have a spill. And you want to take your time and stir it in as well so you don't have a spill. All right, it's all filled in. So now you're going to go ahead and you want to add the rest of your coconut milk inside. I'll be adding 1.5 cup of coconut milk. That's the remainder. And I'm going to be adding the rest of my flour. Alright, so now I want to be adding the rest of my flour. That's the rest of the flour. Take your time and stir it in until it's completely fold in. Guys, you want to preheat your oven at 350. At 350 Fahrenheit. And you also want to grease your baking pan before putting your mixture inside. And I'll be using 9-inch baking pan. So the consistency should not be too thick. Should not be too thick or too watery. And you want to add a little bit of trash, a little bit of coconut trash to your mixture. Just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of flavor. Go ahead and stir that in. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the baking pan, and I'll get back to you guys. My mixture is in my baking pan. Now I'm gonna give it an hour and a half to bake in the oven. And just as it reached an hour and 25 minutes, I will add my mixture on top. My mixture consists of coconut milk, sugar, and vanilla. That will give it that wet look, that's what we say in Jamaica, but basically give it that moisture on top. I will be adding my foil to trap that heat inside, and also just for the heat to penetrate more on top of the pudding. So I'm going to give this 20 minutes inside the oven, and then I will put my foil paper on it. Okay, so I'm back. It's been about 30 minutes inside the oven. Now I'm going to add my foil over it. You don't want to put the foil too much on it. Just want to lightly put it over it. You don't want it to be flat on it either, because then it will get tangled on top of the pudding. You just want to put it loosely over it and seal around it, and let it stay an inch away from the top part of the pudding, so it don't get stick on the top part of the pudding. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven for another hour, and then you will see my finished results, guys. It's an hour and 25 minutes. Now I'm going to add liquid on top of my pudding. You just want to add enough and spread it evenly on top of the pudding. So everything is spread evenly. Don't leave anything in the middle to settle in the middle. Make sure it's spread to the edge right here. So you want to use basically 2 to 3 tablespoons to get this moisture on the top here. Now that's it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover it with my foil for another 25 minutes, and then I'll show you my finished product. Final product, guys. Final touch. I hope you enjoyed my video, and please give me a like and subscribe, guys. Hit a notification bell. My finished product. Look at this slice of sweet potato pudding. Yummy. Look at those raisins, nice and thick.